I've been dragging my feet getting this job started because it's just cold. It hasn't really been freezing, maybe a little frost at night, but things have warmed up a bit. But I still don't want to really get started. So I'm eating peanut butter cups. So last week I was out here in the potato patch, finally getting my potatoes a little bit late during a week where we had unseasonably cold weather and it froze early, hard, and the soil out here, the garden was like an inch or two frozen at the top, and I couldn't get the carrots out at all. Now it's been up above freezing at night, and you know, we've had a little bit of frost, but that's about it. I can dig into this soil, it's completely unfrozen. And so I'm gonna see how long it takes me to get these carrots. I've got 3 beds here. So we'll see how that goes. And I've also got leeks over here, which I need to think about what I'm gonna do. So yeah, that's where I'm starting. I finally got myself out here. I'm in my rubber Gumby suit, and we'll see how long it takes me to get carrots. Oakley dokley, so I decided to get this whole bed before washing the carrots. So I got 2, 4, 5, plus 2 more. 7 partial buckets total. There are 3 jays out here. Well, now I'm just seeing 2. Oh, there they are. In the potato patch. So 2 buckets fits in, you know, one of these shallower tubs. So yeah, I think, am I just gonna throw these in the freezer like this? Put a lid on it and throw it in the freezer. Maybe 1 shallow tub of carrots plus the tub weight is about 32 pounds. And I have 3 of those. 3 tubs. I pulled out some of the bigger carrots, and these I'm not going to freeze. I'm just gonna keep them in the refrigerator for fresh. And let's see, let's call it 15 pounds. Oakley dokley, I have 2 freezers over here in the boat shed. And this one is for stuff in the garden. And so I have those 3 tubs of carrots here, and this is my parsley. And I don't know, this is my kale and collard greens. Do you think I can get another 3 tubs of carrots in here along with these greens? So folks, this is not a how-to video. I have no idea if these carrots are going to survive in these tubs just thrown in there in the freezer, if I'm going to be able to even dig them out of the tub once they're frozen solid, you know, but I'm just going to give it a try because I don't want these to go to waste, and I'm not sure what else to do. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to get the next bed of carrots. Okay, so I'm getting out here a little bit late. Tyler suggested that we go out and check for seaweed on the beach, and there's probably enough for a truckload. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try and harvest this bed of carrots today, and then maybe just leave these ones in the ground and cover them up with a layer of seaweed, so then I can harvest them through the winter. This bed has a lot more clover in it than that one did. I mean, that one didn't have really any clover. I don't know, I can't remember how many carrots I actually harvested from these 2 beds. There might have been quite a few, especially from that bed, but I can't remember. Okay, folks, so it's almost dark. I finally got this whole bed of carrots plucked out, and there's a lot of clover in there, so I just ended up throwing the vegetation over onto this last bed of carrots, give them a little bit of insulation or whatever. I got 7 buckets, the same amount as the other bed from yesterday. And so I don't think I'm gonna weigh these, so I'm just gonna estimate it's the same amount. So yeah, I'm back in here washing carrots, and I am not set up for washing carrots without their tops. So I'm just using this little house colander and doing little tiny batches at a time. Normally I just throw the carrots over here and hang on to their tail ends and spray them off. So yeah, anyway, here we go again. 3 more tubs and another bag of big ones. Whew. I'm not sure if I'm gonna freeze these. I'm not sure if I have room to freeze all of these. So I'm just gonna leave them here for the night. It's like 40 degrees. It won't freeze tonight. So they'll be safe until I can decide exactly what I wanna do. My nose is so cold, it's red. So last night I started getting nervous with all of these tubs of carrots on the ground, because I was thinking, you know, one time I came out here to the boat shed at night and there was something moving around, and it was just like this big old porcupine lumbering around out here. And I thought, man, after all that time I spent harvesting and washing these carrots, these are gonna get knocked over and crapped on and whatever. And so I actually moved them into the cab of a little white truck. But this morning I needed to use the truck, so I just moved them again just on top of the wash station here, because it's like 45-ish degrees out, so they'll be fine for a while. And I decided this morning that since I don't have a ton of room in the freezer, I'm gonna go ahead and try selling these, because there's a community market tomorrow, Saturday. And so I'm going to bag these up into like maybe 5-pound bags and see if I can't sell them last minute. But I have another surprise. I took a little white truck out to get some seaweed, and Tyler helped me. So we were able to go out and get some seaweed in this one out of the way area near the shoreline where there were a bunch of alder trees. So there's lots of leaves. And yeah, I don't know about my potato patch here. I still need to clean the potatoes I harvested last week. And I'd actually really like to plant potatoes and see what that's like, planting in the fall, and you know, so that they'll come up in the spring, since I'm always late planting my potatoes. So I don't know, if I have any extra seaweed here, I might think about throwing that over there and getting some potatoes ready too. Okie doke, so I've got 1 bed covered. I don't have enough in here to do maybe even 1 more bed. So I think I'm gonna take a look at potato patch. So what I did here, the tops are just in this one area. I could yank those out. And I had scooped dirt off to the side here, so I could start planting potatoes back in this row here. And then these, I just kind of was uncovering the potatoes as I went. I had 5 rows in here, so I could do another one, cover it, another one, cover it, another one, cover it, something like that. And yeah, so I should put down the seaweed leaf mixture first, plant potatoes, and then cover it, I think. I've got this little thing of seaweed from the summer where Tyler and his sister got me a load. So I could use that too. And I've got this pile of leaves. 2 beds covered in tarps. Seaweed and leaf mixture in the potato patch. I think that's all I'm gonna get done for tonight. I gotta go in, dinner, bagging up carrots for selling tomorrow at the market. Bucket of leeks for tonight. Nice batch of leeks still. I did have one that froze out there when we got below freezing temperatures for a week. 3 tubs, 8 bags each, 3 pounds per bag. Plus my big old bag. Headed out to the community market. My 3 tubs of carrots. I'm bringing my sign this time. I gave him a little wash. Hi, I got a coffee. Me and little white trucker back. Going back to the market. Success, dudes. I didn't expect to sell out of carrots, and I sold out like the first 30 minutes, but it's kind of like the crowd just comes in all at once, and then it's just people trickle in for the rest of the few hours. But I probably could have sold maybe double the amount of carrots I had. There was a lot of people that were looking for them after I sold out. So anyway, that was interesting to see how that went, because I've never done a November market before. It's raining just a little bit, but it's supposed to start raining a whole lot more. I'm wondering if I should try and get out here and plant potatoes, if I want to plant potatoes. I was digging around in the refrigerator, getting some potatoes. So I got like 50 of the Haida, 50 of the German Butterball, I don't know, like 12 of the Shepherdie, and like 6 or so of the French fingerling. I'm not gonna plant the magic mollies because they're purple and it's so hard to tell if it's dirt or if it's a potato. So I'm kind of done with those potatoes. But yeah, as I was going through the potatoes, I noticed there's a handful of them that rotted, you know, from getting frozen, and the ends rotted. And so I need to kind of go through those as soon as possible next week while it's raining outside, get those washed up and separated and whatever. Yeah, so let's see if I can plant these. Okay, so I've got these kind of laid out. I'm gonna plant the Haidas last. I've got 3 rows, 25 German Butterball, 25 German Butterball, 7 French fingerlings. These are all spaced a foot in row spacing. And then the Shepherdie, which is a bigger potato, I went ahead and gave them a 1.5 foot spacing. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this windrow of dirt, throw it on the top here, and then start throwing this dirt over the top here. And that'll clear me out a couple more rows. And this will be the Haida, 2 rows, 25 each of Haida. Okay, so these 3 rows are covered. I dug out a spot. Spacing is kind of like a 1.5 foot between rows. So we'll see if that's good enough. So seaweed next in that section there. Leaves, and then I'm just gonna scoop this dirt over the top of them. Yikes. It's starting to really rain now too. It's getting dark. I got the seaweed and the leaves on here. So I'm just gonna put the 2 rows of Haida, scoop this dirt over on the top of it. Okay, can you see? I've got a couple of tarps over the top of this potato bed, because if this gets too wet, those potatoes are just going to rot. They might rot anyway. So yeah, I'll have to pull this off before we get like a lot of snow, so the potatoes can come up in the spring if they're gonna come up. So the forecast was for light rain, but it kind of turned into a downpour. Fortunately, Tyler came home from work and helped me shovel that last windrow of soil onto the potatoes and get that tarp on there. So that put me ahead. Yes, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, next week, save out some seed potatoes and cure them, just in case those ones just rot out there and they don't come up in the spring. And so I'll be able to plant them. At least the bed out there is ready to go. It's a decent potato bed, I guess. Yeah, and so then next week I've just gotta clean and sort the potatoes for eating and for curing. Think about what I'm gonna do about my leeks out in the garden. And then I just got a few things and I'll be done out in the garden for the season. And then I can start focusing on the walk-in cooler project that I've got going on downstairs. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll talk to you guys next week. Carrots in the freezer. This is what they look like. I can pop these apart. This is gonna work. I think I can throw these in a stew, right? Let's see how they hold up over the months, eh?